but it was not done on our own vote. It's directly the work of Bobby, Phil, Delbert, Sabi, Hakeem Bey, Taj Tariq Bey, C. Freeman L, Brother Azazel, Dawood. You can't leave a name out because it was like Netflix for us. But DVDs and VHS tapes and whatnot, but it was Netflix. We were binging, we were drowning in the information, and it was feeding us. Every single person on this planet is living in the dreams of all of these lectures that we was telling y'all about. Facts. I wake up every day. It would be remiss of anybody if I were to say anything is wrong with me or my day. If somebody would ask, "Yo, Red, how's your day?" Awesome and beautiful.
Facts.
I am so grateful. I am so thankful. I am so, these rabbit hairs in my pocket are so electric.
Woo! Nigga said the rabbit
so
ears is
magic.
electric.
Right. They are so ultramagnetic. Right. I am so charged up. Okay. I'm here. I'm witnessing this thing. And somebody is allowing me to be here and be a shining example of what this shit is.
Let me hear what Blue Hat got to say, because I want to get to a couple of callers before we get out of here. Go ahead, Blue.
Yeah, he talking that good gratitude. You know.
Oh yeah.
I am. Unapologetically, optimistically, in gratitude at any and all times for the opportunity to be here and for all of the blessings that have been bestowed upon me by great Creator. Now, in regards to our brother, Dr. Malachi Z. York, like Red, I kind of confronted this information full-fledged when I was incarcerated, and I saw what it meant to other individuals who did not have. This was, and we're talking about, dinosaurs, you know what I'm saying? New York predicates and things of that nature. We was out of town, so they was getting busy. They was getting it in. They had high respect on the compound, and they would have them pamphlets. You know what I'm saying? They would have them tablets in their back pocket. Right. I'm on the gate with the guard bodies, but the guard bodies don't pump with the dudes that's now will be in, and they don't deal with the out. So I was the go between. I kicked it with everybody. You know what I'm saying? And I studied the information. I love the transliteration. I love when he was just being practical and dealing with transliteration of scripture. It gave me a lot of cloth. It gave me a lot to work with, and it allowed me to ask myself a lot of these questions and dig deeper. I didn't get too much into the additional information, and when things started transiting and moving in other directions, you know what I'm saying, I didn't follow. So I wouldn't necessarily be an expert. Okay. I'm the one who used to I used to go to Polite's class in 2007 when he was teaching meditation on Saturdays using tones, and I'm telling you,
it was dope.
Bro, I think the room turn into like we was moving. It's hard to explain, but them tones, right? Bar none, we can say that brother brought some unprecedented truth that is very hard to mount counter arguments to, because it's demonstratable. You know what I'm saying? And he has also, from his vine, you know what I mean? A lot of people have come from that are geniuses. So I can only look at the information and say, there was a level of efficacy to it that, has to be acknowledged. I will say this, and I have to say this. I do not prescribe to a cosmological genealogy that comes from me being genetically created in a lab and my ancestors coming here as slaves to mine for gold. I think that those individuals are dealing with a mistranslation of the text, and they are riding on the coattails of Zachariah Sitchin, right? And you have to understand the I'm losing the word, but the same shit David Icke was doing. Their inability to see melanated excellence in any spectrum or give it to us where we deserve it. Pause. They're always going to prescribe it to 7-foot Nordic white aliens with blue eyes, and I don't subscribe to that paradigm. So with that, I would say, my brothers and my sisters, respectfully, we got to dig a little bit deeper. Our brother AA has a amazing compendium of work that deals with the actual translation of Sumerian texts and Akkadian texts. I would recommend that we go and see that so we can extract the stuff for what it's really for, instead of getting caught up in the fantastical aspects of it, dealing with these space alien shits. That's all I'm saying.
All right, let's get to the first call. I'm gonna take a couple of calls, then we're gonna get out of here, family. Very interesting to hear what y'all got to say. We start 2020 off with this Mamba energy.
Big
I
Mamba.
wish I had that flyer Blue made to share with y'all. But
Big Mamba.
I got it in it.
Only 2 words. It's real simple. Had not. First of all, Big Rich, I like to just say thank you, you know, for just having this platform for us. And Red and Blue Pill, you know, you guys are all amazing. This is I'm just now tapping into this consciousness.
Excellent.
From the God Power first one, God Power 2. Brother Rich, I watch all of your stuff. You know, I go back and listen to it over and over again, sometimes because it's new to me. And what I'm learning with myself is that I've learned so much. Now I have to unlearn what I learned to learn some new stuff that's going to benefit me. So my question is, and when I say that I'm new into this, sometimes I just get chills on me when I just hear, you know, you guys speak of this just different consciousness and being aware and stuff is happening. And it's like, ooh, you know, I want to be there. I want to see that. And I know that there's a process, there's steps to this. What can you share with me or tell me beginning of this year? Like you said, we're already 6 days in here, and I'm already there's already so much that's happening that's distraction. And for me, you know, with the everything, just everything, not just the Cat Williams stuff, but just everything, you know, from just everything. How can I? What advice could you give me to like really keep my state of focus, not miss out on what I need to get from the conscious world, because I'm thirsty for it. I'm like a pit bull right now. Like I'm thirsty for the knowledge, the knowing, not only to help myself, but to be able to help my children, to be able to help my grandchildren. We're talking generational here. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really sure my parents would really benefit from it because they're so set in their ways, but I'm not giving up hope on them either. But I know I guess it's like your family has to see it happen within you before they can say, mom's on to something.
Definitely.
You know, so that's kind of like why I want to pop in.
You have a voracious appetite, right? And you want to learn because, you know, you're saying that you're quote unquote late blooming in terms of getting onto this information. You want to get it for yourself, and then you want to be able to maximize it to a degree where you're able to help others. And then in the midst of you helping, other people are going to observe you helping and be like, yo, what you got going over there? And then they're going to start inquiring and asking questions. So you want to be a fulcrum for change, right? In your own personal life, in your own community. I would say, you know, today, write out the things that you want to change about your life, right? Because you can only be honest with you. And these things don't have to be radical change. I explain to people, everything don't have to be 180-degree change. 1 degree of change qualifies as a change. So you could just be looking to do something slightly better. Like, you know, I normally wake up at 9 to get my day started. I just now want to wake up at 8 because I have extra time to study or extra time to get this out the way. So when study time does come, I won't necessarily feel that crunch, because I know how it feels. You like, I don't have enough time now to do the things that I really now am interested in doing, because I have found this reservoir of information and I just want to dive in. I would say, don't dive in necessarily. You know what I'm saying? Put your toe in the water and see how the water feels. You feel me? Then put the foot in and then start with the calf and then slip the leg in. Right? You want to get comfortable with the space. You don't want to jump in deep and find out that the water goes a little bit more steeper than you're prepared for. Right? Because, we don't want nobody to drown in this stuff, because, you know, the information highway is a deluge. There's so much stuff. So you have to find out what Aquarius Maximus said, the pursuit of your passions. What is the things that you think that you want to change? And then what are the things that you want to do? Those are two different things.
Right.
Right? Because it's like, all right, I might be looking to change these things over here because I want to do these things, but I can't jump into the things I want to do until I address the things I need to change. Right? Like, hey, I want to lift 5 plates. Right?
Right.
I know that even though that's what I want to do, I have to train for that. So now I have to create a regimen to get me to that place. I have to create a realistic goal for myself to say 6 months from now, showtime.
Okay.
So now that creates anticipation for me, gives me something to look towards to. Now I could measure it. You feel me? I could gauge it. And I can allow myself to make changes where it's needed to. And I was writing that in my presentation, the importance, right? I had the architecture of allowance, the art of allowing.
Allowing, yes.
Dr. B Serious, go back and continuously watch Dr. B. I think Dr. B is mandatory for people that are initially coming in that have been at a space in their life where, you know, that they put a lot of miles on the car and now they need to unlearn and relearn. I think Dr. B is amazing for that. You know what I'm saying? He has that amazing conversational language that can get you, you know, that understanding that you need. But the allow yourself to take time, because don't feel the pressure and the crunch of time because you feel like, oh, I started too late. Allow yourself, allow the universe to work with you. Speak to the universe and give it to permission to handle you in the way in which will be best for you, best for your transformational process. Because you like, you know, people is watching, and I don't mean that your stuff has to be sanitized. They can watch you slobber and they can watch you fall, you feel me, and stumble. That's part of the process. They need to see you through the whole process, not just not just the cute stuff.
Right.
Wow. Well, I truly appreciate it. Thank you again, Brother Rich. Like I said, you're doing amazing things for the community. Red pill, blue pill. I truly appreciate you guys. You guys just become like, y'all so real. I told my daughter one day, I was like, it's these brothers that I be watching. I said, man, I ain't never heard some real stuff come out their mouth. This stuff been really real. So I truly appreciate you guys, and thank you guys. Bless.
Where you live at?
Thank you.
So I'm here I currently live in Douglasville, but I've been on the West Coast in Sacramento, helping my senior
Right. I would love to meet you on the 15th and coming out, you know, when we do the live show, because there's some things that I'll talk to you about in private about, you know, what we were just talking about that I want to share with you. You know what I mean? Everything is going to be good. You represent millions in your early phase. I think we should have color coded. I think we should have color coded consciousness where people who are just starting out have an orientation so they know, yo, this is green and this is red, because you sometimes are getting you're getting consciousness, like Blue said, through a deluge, not filtered.
Yeah,
it's not strained. It's poured on you. This channel will take you through. This channel is it's deep, right? Like if you step deep into the waters, you can go into a never ending quote unquote stream of content, but you don't have time for that. So don't give up what you have to do in order to tap into something that you may think that you're missing, because that could become crazy. And you have to practice the art of discernment, because you could be listening to 100 false prophets.
Yeah. And I just want to add on real quick before you get out of here, sister. I feel and understand exactly where you're coming from. There's things that I used to do 18 years ago when I first got into spirituality that I stopped doing because I got so much information. It was just so much information. You always moving on and moving on and moving on. And then in the year 2019, I finally picked back up on what I did in probably 04. And that changed me and took me to the next level. And I was like, why did I ever stop doing this? Then I was like, because I was so overloaded with so much other shit that I thought every time you read something new, you think it's more advanced because it's new. That don't mean the old stuff is less advanced just because you read or hear something or read something new. when you tap into your magic, you're feeling inside, and don't give up on it because you have quote unquote new information. It took me years to get back something that I was doing, something personal in my personal ritual. So I just want to add that. But yeah, right.
And journal. If you an artist, draw. If I could go back and have 8 notebooks from my first 3 years of my awakening, gold. That's why they say data is gold. They know that, but do you know that? Data is gold. Your earlier writings, your earlier reflections, you have to be able to have a point of reference. So you have to go back to it. So you gotta journal it. Take it from, look how all three of us, right? Look, let's hit it with the nod. We all know it's all about creation. What do you create on the journey? That's when you go back and you sit down and you're able to slow down and you look back. That's the stuff that's gonna matter. Rich has he has a library, an archive of thousands of clips and content that's all like bars of gold. Me and Blue have the same thing, right? So you want to create content. Times like this where Cat Williams is have you excited, create content, tape it, film yourself. You don't have to put it on YouTube. YouTube is not the end all be all, but create this content of your time of blossoming and transformation. You will thank yourself 10 years from now.
All right. Thank you so much, sis.
Thank you so much.
All right. Peace.
Okay.
All right. Let's get to let's keep it moving. We got to get out of here soon. Let's get to Yvonne Lewis. You all up in the camera, man. Back up, Yvonne. You all up in the camera. What's up? You got beef? What's up?
Hey, Yvonne. You on mute. We can't
hear you. We can't hear you, sis. No.
Hey, Yvonne.
No, can't hear you.
Sis can't hear you. Oh man, I really want to hear sis too, man.
Hey, Yvonne, come on, you got.
Can't hear you. You gotta figure it out. Her mic is not muted.
Yeah, it's open, but we don't hear you. It's not coming through.
Yvonne, go out and come back in.
Yeah,
go out and come back in. All right. Let me get to somebody else real quick. Sydney Sanders, what's going on? Bro?
Peace to the gods.
Peace.
Cool, man. What's good? I had to put the shades on just to resonate with the twin pillars, just for the day.
That's right. That's the twin pillar effect.
You know what I mean? First, I just want to give gratitude to the Holy Trifecta right here. You know, just all the work y'all do. I definitely resonate. Also want to give an introduction to Blue. We haven't seen face to face, but the developer that works right under Hugh.
Hey Sid, what's good?
Yeah. So just want to make the introduction here. Had to tap in.
Yes, sir.
But yeah, most definitely. I don't want to, take too much time. First, I want to tap in. I did miss a portion though, because you spoke about how winter is the time for reflection. I hate for y'all to repeat yourself.
Nah, it's all good.
Right.
Again, I was speaking about what the sign of Janus actually means, and also take that as because there's so many things that's right in front of us while they try to sell us, all of these lemons in society. They tell us that we live in a monotheistic society where there's one God. I'm like, there's 7 gods. They're called days of the week. You know what I'm saying? And then all of them different months that they have. All of the months that they got named, majority of them are gods. So Janus is a god that's part of the pantheon of Roman gods. It's a 2-headed god, and it stands for doors and gateways, right? And one looks to the past and the other looks to the future, right? So 11 or 1 or January is that junction point where you get to either the end of the year or the beginning of the year where you do necessary self-reflection. For those that are observing astrological years, meaning that the new year begins in March, right? Then they are going over the notes like, all right, well, what did I start this year and where am I at with it? You deal with projects, so you know how you map projects out, right? You have phase 1, you have phase 2, you got to revise and revisit and things of that nature. right? Now, for those that are in their first fiscal year dealing, in their fiscal year dealing with this as a first quarter, you already have certain plans that may be implemented, or you are tweaking, your first quarter plans for rollout either during the end of the first quarter or the beginning of the second, when the light comes on. It's the same thing. If we were farmers, we would be putting seeds in the ground, right? If we were having children, we would be inseminating the womb with our seed, and in 90 days, in 9 months or 270 days, then that seed sees the light. Was that seed alive? Was it germinating? Was it living? That's a whole conversation that the Supreme Court has to deal with. In my ideology, yes, it was. And it's the same thing about ideas. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing about your intentions. When you set it, it's in motion. Now, how it manifests itself depends on how you're going to water it, how you're going to micromanage this idea of yours and bring it to full term. So that's what this is about, circling the track. That's the only thing that this year represents. It's a cycle. You got to circle the cycle. You feel me? Some people trip up at the finish line, and some people go Sha'Carri Richardson.
Right.
Let me add on. In the winter months, the reason why animals hibernate is because the winter is not time for popping out. The winter is not time for exerting yourself. The winter is not time to even really be seen. The winter is not time to be in front of the camera.